What's going on? I'm going to be going over my first place Galaxy deck profile, so let's jump into it. So this deck got me first place at a 3-round locals. Round 1, I played against Tyrantkabuterimon. I got that 2-0. Round 2 was Zephagamon, the green birds, and I got that one 2-0 as well. And then round 3, I played against Tyrantkabuterimon, and that one I got 2-1. So I've played a lot of green decks. So getting into the list, for the eggs, I just have 4 Sunmon. And this one, when an effect places the top card of this Digimon as the bottom Digivolution card, this Digimon may Digivolve into a card in the hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. So it lets you usually Digivolve into a 4 for 1 memory, in some cases for free. And onto the rookies, you have 4 Lunamon. This one is usually the best one because start a main phase, you can return one of your Digimon to the hand and gain 2 memory. So if you have it in raising, you raise up, you have another Digimon on board, you return that Digimon, gain 2 memory, and then you can do all your Digivolving shenanigans. And then the inheritable is by placing the top card of this to the bottom, you gain 2 memory. So you place the Digimon to the bottom of the Digivolution sources, and that gains you 2 memory. And then we got Coronamon. This one, at the start of your main phase, if you have a Tamer, you gain 1 memory. And then the inheritable is the same as Lunamon, so it's almost just as good as Lunamon, just barely not as good. And then for the last rookie, I have one of the EX08s. This one, on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Light Fang trait and 1 Night Claw trait, or 1 2-color card among them, put the rest at the bottom. So gets you usually 1 red and 1 blue, and then there are some 2-color cards in this deck that it can search out as well. That's it for the rookies. Thinking about bumping the Agumon up to 1 or up to 2, so that 1 more consistent rookies and then another searcher, but as of right now, this has been working out. On to the level 4s, we have 4 Lekismon. This is on play when Digivolving. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with the Night Fang Claw and 1 card with the Light Fang or Galaxy trait among them to the hand, and put the rest to the bottom. So ideally it gets you 2 cards, but sometimes it will get you 1 or none. And then we have Rapidmon, which does the exact same thing, except it is red. And then for the Lekismon, opponent's turn, you get plus 2k, and then for the Firemon, opponent's turn, or your turn, you get plus 2k. So, offensive, defensive. Then, for the last level 4, we have 4 of the Gaogamon Galaxy one. This is when Digivolving, both players draw a card, and then, if your opponent has 8 or more cards, or if this Digimon has 3 or more Digivolution cards, gain a memory. So usually it's both, so you don't have to worry about that. You're almost always gaining the memory. And then the inheritable is jamming, which is super important because you want to swing for free and not die to big things in security. On to the level 5s, we have Cressamon. This is when Digivolving or on play, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of their Digimon can't suspend. Then, and also, when this is Digivolved or played, if you have a Digimon with 3 or more Digivolution cards with the Night Claw, Light Fang, or Galaxy trait, you can reduce the cost by 2. So a lot of the times you're Digivolving for 1 into this. And then inheritable is this opponent's turn plus 2k. That comes up. And I have 1 Zudomon Ace. This is Blast Digivolve or on play when Digivolving. You can trash 2 Digivolution cards of your opponent's Digimon, then return one of their Digimon with no Digivolution cards to the hand. So that came up a lot. It triggered Mirage, strips out sources that are important to the opponent. Kind of want to bump it up to 2, but there's not a whole lot of room. And then the other one of MirageGaogamon. So when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower to the hand. And then when attacking for the inheritable is if your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, unsuspend this Digimon. So that is really good to get some aggression going. The last level 5 is the Flaremon. So Flaremon has the same Digivolution / play reduction as Cressamon. And then the on-play / when digivolving, you get to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. So it does clear little bodies. It's pretty important for getting rid of memory blockers. I did have to do that against Terriermon player. And then the inheritable, this Digimon gets plus 2k. And now that is it for the level 5s. You kind of need a lot because you're playing a lot of 6s, and then you're also tucking things to the bottom of your stack, so you kind of need a lot of all of them. Level 6s, I have 4 MirageGaogamon. A lot of people don't like this card, but it's pretty good. When digivolving, return one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon to the hand. If no Digimon was returned by this effect, your opponent adds the top card of their security stack to their hand. And then the card a lot of people hate about it is all turns, when an effect adds cards to your opponent's hand, gain 1 memory for every 4 cards in the opponent's hand. You're gonna be asking the opponent how many cards in their hand a lot. And usually you're digivolving into it for 1 or 2-1, and then sometimes for free, depending on how many cards you can get in their hand / how many cards they get in their hand. It is pretty good and makes for a good board if you just set up a MirageGaoga and then try to build up into another body. And then for the other blue level 6s, I have 2 Hexablaumon. So this is Security Attack +1 and Ice Clad, which means it compares the sources in battle rather than the DP. So when digivolving, trash any 4 Digivolution cards under your opponent's Digimon. Then if your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards, return one of their Tamers to the bottom of the deck. So it's pretty good Tamer hate. Bottom decked quite a few Tamers in the tournament. And then opponent's turn, none of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer Digivolution cards as this Digimon can suspend. It's really good against hybrids, so they're basically not going to be able to suspend against you, and then any sort of rookie rush strategy. Now on to the red level 5s, or 6s. I have 2 Medieval Gallantmon, so this can be searched by the Agumon since it is a 2-color card. And then it has Alliance and Vortex. And then when digivolving, you may suspend 1 Digimon, then you may delete one of your opponent's 8,000 DP or lower Digimon for each other suspended Digimon. Add 3,000 DP to this deletion effects minimum. So you basically get to almost always delete an 11k, and then usually it's bigger because you can suspend even more things. And then all turns, when the Digimon are played, you can activate one of this Digimon's when digivolving effects. So basically it's a floodgate for playing Digimon. So you have a floodgate for searching, floodgate for playing Digimon. You get both of them on board. It's pretty annoying to get past. Not impossible, but it is annoying. And in the last 2 level 6s, I have 2 Apollomon. But this is just really aggressive card. I mean, I like to have everything but the Mirage be a super aggressive card because Hexbile, Security Attack, Medieval Gallantmon has Alliance, and then this. So this has when digivolving Blitz. For every 3 cards in this Digimon's Digivolution cards gain Security Attack +1. So you're at least getting Security Attack +1, and then usually you can get it to Security Attack +2, so you're checking 3 checks on the swing. And then you usually have jamming or plus DP from these guys. And then your turn, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP. So it also clears bodies off your opponent's board. Usually pretty big because you're going to have the inheritables to gain your DP, and he's already base 12. So on to the level 7s. I have 1 Gabumon Bond of Friendship Ace. So it has the Blast Digivolve, and then on play when digivolving, return 2 of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer Digivolution cards as this Digimon to the bottom of the deck. And then when attacking, if you have a Tamer, unsuspend this Digimon. So you like to have a tamer out, so you're usually getting the unsuspend. Sometimes it's hard to get the tamer out, but it's not bad. And then you're usually building a big stack because a lot of your things tuck sources under it, and you're just building a really big stack, so you're almost bottom decking anything with this. In the last level 7, MirageGaogamon Paladin mode ace. It also has Blast Digivolve, and then on play when Digivolving, trash all of the Digivolution cards of all of your opponent's Digimon, then return all of the cards in your or your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck. If this effect returned a white level 7, gain 3 memory. We only have one, so it doesn't come up bottom decking ours, but it can in others. Like I did bottom deck, I believe, the MirageGaogamon in the Tyrantkabuterimon matchup. And then when has a win attacking by returning one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards to the bottom deck, unsuspend this Digimon. So it's just even more aggression, and then this can go on all of your blue 6s, but it can also go on Medieval Gallant because he is half green. The Gabumon can only go on your blues, which is not that big of a deal, as you're usually having Mirage out. You're aiming for the Mirage, as you can see 4 of versus 2 of the rest. And for the last cards in the deck, we have 4 Ko and Sayo. You play 4 of it because you kind of need to see it. It's pretty good to push advantage when you have a board set up, and then if you have it down the turn before you raise up, it also gives you extra cycle, and usually you get some free Digivolves, especially if you're making 2 stacks. So first of all, it's a memory setter, and then on play and main, by suspending this tamer and placing the top card of one of your Light Fang or Night Claw trait Digimon as the Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a card in your hand without paying the cost. So if you have 2 stacks, you can bottom deck one, and then you can Digivolve for free on the other, or you can just bottom deck one and then Digivolve into the same level. So it just makes your stack bigger, or it lets your other stack Digivolve for free, which is pretty nice. And then the last 4 cards are 4 Wisteria Memory Boost. You just need searching in this deck, and then also gives you memory later on. So red also meets the requirement, so you can play it even when you just have the egg. Main, reel the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 blue or red Digimon card among them to the hand, return the rest to the bottom of the deck, then place this card in the battle area. And then it has main, delay, gain 2 memory. And then also security effect, place this in the battle area, so you don't get search out of security just like the other memory boosts, but you do get the memory later on. Some things I'd consider changing is I kind of want to add a security bomb, so I would add Full Moon Meteor Burst, I believe is what it's called, 8 cost, return an opponent's Digimon to the hand, and then gain a memory for every 4 cards in their hand. It's pretty good as a removal option. And then it would be nice to bump the Zudo up, but like I said, space is really tight. You need to play all these. Thinking about swapping an Agumon for memory boost, but sometimes a memory boost is better because you get the memory later on. And then most likely Mirage is going to get hit, so it's either going to go to 1 and you can just focus on some more Hexablau, or you could put the Dianamon in from the actual Galaxy deck. But if that happens, I might try out the red base and bump this to 4, bump this down to maybe 3, and play a lot more of the red level 6s. As for extended look on my matchups, round 1, like I said, was Tyrantkabuterimon. Game 1, I don't think he was able to get into a Tyrant, and then I was able to just use Mirage to bounce a lot of his stuff. Game 2, actually looked pretty bad for me. Got into a Zephagamon, bottom deck my Mirage, and then he went to Tyrant, but he wasn't able to suspend. So I was able to Zudomon Ace, strip the Shiva Ace, and gain a bunch of memory back, and then get into a second stack and clear his board. I believe it was with Medieval Gallantmon. So that was 2-0. Round 2 was Zephagamon. He really wasn't able to get into a level 6. I was able to get into Mirage basically first turn both games and kind of lock him out of the game. I got Mirage Medieval on board, and it kind of made it really hard to play the game against that. He did keep removing it with options, but I was able, usually gave me enough memory to go back up into a Mirage. And then round 3 was against Tyrantkabuterimon. I lost game 1. I was able to get Mirage Medieval on board, but then she was able to clear it with basically just Rapid X and I think maybe the level 5 Rapidmon. Digivolve, and then game 2 I barely got it out. I was able to establish Mirage Medieval again and kind of locked it down a little bit till the Medieval got cleared, but I was able to build back up and just swing a bunch of her game. And then game 3, she made a risky play, swinging into security with the level 4 Rapidmon and had to armor purge, go back to the rookie. And I was able to Medieval Gallant and clear the board without giving too much memory because I already had a boost on field. Yeah, that was all 3 rounds. So that is my Galaxy deck profile. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, and thanks for watching.